One of the greatest causes of depression is isolation. And that with that isolation and the depression, it can ultimately lead to suicide. But they also discovered that one of the greatest remedies of suicide, depression, and isolation is community. And the American church doesn't realize that if they just make a paradigm shift in the church structure and model from corporate structure to decentralized structure, they can turn it into a community church. They can reach people dealing with isolation all over the country. Which leads us to the reason that most churches are dying, because they're going with the corporate model as opposed to a decentralized model, which is the case in Asia. And that is why when it comes to the church in Asia, they're the fastest growing Christian churches in the world, because they're using the cell group model as opposed to the senior pastor model, where he's up there preaching, thinking that he can reach the whole community by himself. It ain't working. That's why the largest church in the world, in Seoul, Korea, have a membership of well over 800,000 people. The complaint that you're hearing from black leaders all over the countries, we got to go back to community. No, you have to go to an Acts 2 house-to-house type of ministry, as opposed to a corporate style ministry where some guy just gets up there and preach and pontificates. It doesn't work. You want them in a community. And most of those groups in the community are anywhere from 5 to 15 people deep. That's it. You're there, you support them, you encourage them. I don't care if you're a movie star, a football player, whoever you are, you want to make sure that if you're dealing with isolation, you want to get into a community style home church where you can laugh, fellowship, talk, pray, disciple, and live your life. Get people in small groups. The largest growth in the world is coming from the Asian countries, China, Japan, Korea, and even India, because they're not dependent on some dynamic dude who's standing up in the pulpit. Jesus did not set the church up to be a corporate setup. He set it up so that we would meet, just like on the day of Pentecost, where they met from house to house. They broke bread together, they laughed, they prayed, they taught, they discipled. And the church grew all over the world because of that model. If you want to see the rebirth of communities, start decentralizing these churches so that they can do what they're supposed to do through prayer, fellowship, and discipleship from house to house. That's the remedy to the problems that you're looking for.